Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Izzy Cinematic Escape on YouTube. As per usual, anyone who's new to the channel and found me through the YouTube search engine or other media outlets, hit the subscribe button below, and if you enjoy my work, be sure to hit the notification bell anytime new content is uploaded. And I want to wish everybody a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. I hope all of you are remaining safe and healthy. Today's review is based off a film that I've been meaning to do for my YouTube channel for quite some time, and I did want to mention that I do plan on reviewing Antebellum. It's just things have been pretty hectic and busy around here, so I apologize for the delay on that one. This review in particular is from the director M. Night Shyamalan, and anyone who is familiar with his work knows that he did The Sixth Sense, Signs, The Happening, After Earth, of course, The Last Airbender, that awful adaptation from my understanding. And there was this period of time where M. Night Shyamalan could literally do no wrong, and that period was The Sixth Sense, Signs. Then, of course, I did enjoy The Village, and I thought Lady in the Water wasn't that bad of a film. But this one, in my opinion, is his best cinematic offering. And when you think of superhero films, obviously you're thinking about Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Captain America, or any type of the Avengers films. And we become so accustomed to the fantastical elements that come with the superhero film and not really understanding the whole, I don't want to say not understanding, but not being used to the whole aspect of having the concept grounded in a more realistic setting. This film, Unbreakable, I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, is M. Night Shyamalan's cinematic masterpiece. It is him exploring the whole superhero mythology while presenting it in a fashion that was literally unexpected for that time. The plot basically is this: you have Bruce Willis's character David Dunn, who is involved in this horrific train accident that has killed many people and injured several others, and he is the only one who has escaped without a scratch on him. And now he is on the journey of self-reflection to find out exactly why he is one of the few, well, the only one who has escaped a horrific fate. Then his journey leads him to, the character of Elijah, played by Samuel L. Jackson. And lo and behold, that's when all these different type of clues start coming together, and you find out exactly why this journey of self-discovery is so unique compared to the other work that we have become accustomed to with M. Night Shyamalan. Now, I love superhero films. I love the fantastical elements. I am able to find myself immersed in a world where I have truly escaped into their realm of fantastical superpowers, epic fights, and interesting dialogue between one another, especially when you have the dichotomy of the yin and the yang, and you have this one character who wants to do everything by the book and wants to do right, and you have the anti-hero, and of course you have the intellectual villain who is operating more amongst the shadows rather than attempting to get his or her hands dirty. Unbreakable is it's not your typical superhero film. I will say this, and anyone who has watched the film will most likely agree with me. It is more of a brooding, atmospheric, intense, suspenseful thriller rather than the superhero action extravaganza that we all have watched throughout the years as of late. You know, when it came to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or even the DCEU, or even those unexpected superhero films that is catering more to what the audience is aspiring to be or yearning for in actuality. But when it comes to Unbreakable, I found that the performances between Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis was just absolutely impeccable. I love the whole explanation of how they are the complete opposite of one another. And without getting into any type of detailed spoilers, now you have Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn. He not only does he have superhuman strength, and he also has the ability to touch anyone, and by touching them, he is able to see their future and may possibly any type of crimes that they have been committing or they're about to commit at some point or another. And you have Elijah, the character of Elijah, who is the mastermind. And you don't necessarily know that he's a mastermind at that point, but you begin to see these little hints that there's more to him than meets the eye. And I love any type of individual or character, and whether it's in literature, video games, or television series or films, where it's all about the intellectual mind rather than trying to match a strength for strength against this particular opponent of his or her. But Unbreakable, I love what M. Night Shyamalan did in terms of providing more of a darker atmospheric element rather than trying to join the pack, if you will, by attempting to add more of a hopeful, colorful imagery. It's all about, if superheroes really did exist, most likely this is what they would be grounded to in terms of their abilities. You know, we think about the flying, the superhero strength, we think about the telepathy, we think about the super speed, we think about all these type of powers that are coming together, and they're working with each other to fight this global cosmic threat. Whereas if superheroes really did exist, and in my opinion, the powers then of themselves would be catered to the super strength and possible telepathy and more of the superhuman intellect, rather than the over-the-top extravaganza that has been quite synonymous within cinematic history, if you will. But I love this film. This is probably one of the greatest M. Night Shyamalan films, if not the greatest M. Night Shyamalan film that he has ever created in cinematic history. And it's I believe it's his most underrated too. A lot of people don't necessarily talk about it, and I think the reason why that is because it literally just flew under the radar. It didn't necessarily start to receive some form of rejuvenation until, of course, when he released Split and Glass, which is part of the trilogy that he created when he decided to have it be more of a shared universe. You can't go wrong with either of these films, obviously, and anyone who is interested in more of the realistic, grounded settings of the superhero genre, obviously any film that is very similar to this, you would take Split and Glass, part of the whole trilogy that he created. And if you're not interested in that, but yet you want to see something that is more similar in terms of the realistic atmosphere, while at the same time presenting more of a real superhero vibe, you could always check out both Kick-Ass films, which are amazing and amazing as well. This is probably the best Kick-Ass film. This is good, but it's nowhere near as good as this. But either way, you could find just entertainment value from both elements. But probably my favorite moment of the film of Unbreakable, and it's a spoiler, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you see, is when David Dunn finally does embrace his his destiny of being the hero, being the superhero. And I love how M. Night Shyamalan had the character of Elijah explore more of the superhero fantastical elements by all the different types of artwork and superhero presentations that again, it's just a wonderful film, and I wish that I had watched it earlier when it was first released. But other than that, I love this film. This will always be one of the greatest M. Night Shyamalan films in cinematic history. Just, you can't go wrong with it, and I highly recommend it. Anyone who wants to watch this film, you can't go wrong. You absolutely cannot go wrong with it. The great music, great acting, great atmosphere, and believe it or not, M. Night Shyamalan, I feel, is a very underrated director when it comes to the cinematography concept as well. He knows how to capture unique and interesting visuals that help propel the story into a different territory as well. But through it all, great film, great acting, great music. Again, there's not much action in it, but when the action does happen, it literally just grips you by the throat, and it's more of a intense, suspenseful action rather than the over-the-top, in-your-face, bright and CGI effects that have become more prevalent in superhero films. And of course, the ending. M. Night Shyamalan films have always been known for their twist endings. Needless to say, the ending is a lot different compared to other endings that we have watched throughout the years in terms of cinema. It's a unique film. And that's the best way I can put it, in my opinion. That is my review of Unbreakable. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Provide a like, and anyone who has watched it, provide a like and a comment if you want to. Anyone who hasn't watched it, I do recommend it. Please let me know in the comment section of this YouTube video what you thought about it, and let me know on my Facebook page what you thought about it. And I hope you guys continue to do well, and you'll be hearing from me again. Take care, and peace out.